Hi everyone, I am Tom. I am the retirement home gigging coach, and welcome to today's video. If you haven't subscribed, please do so and turn on that little notification bell. Today's video, we are going to talk about the equipment that you're going to need to do a retirement home gig. A couple different ways to go about this. Some of you are going to be minimalists, meaning you want to bring just what you have to have. Nothing wrong with that. Some of you are going to want to bring a little bit more than you need, backups, things like that, so you might be bringing in a little bit more equipment. Nothing wrong with that either. You don't want to bring in a semi-trailer full of equipment. This isn't a stadium show, so you don't need much, but just a couple different ways to go. So for those of you who don't want to bring anything more than you need, then all you really need is a speaker, battery operated, preferably. It's nice not to have to worry about where there's an outlet to plug into. So battery operated speaker is ideal. You could go wireless if you like. I don't trust it. I'm old school. I use cables. So get your speaker stand, get your guitar, of course, or your keyboard, whichever you're playing. XLR cable for your mic, quarter-inch jack for your guitar. So you could have your guitar in a case on your shoulder, you could have your speaker in one hand, and a bag with your stands and cords and microphone. You could have that in a bag in your other hand, and you could walk right in. That's nothing wrong with that. I use a dolly, or sometimes they call them hand trucks. One of my previous videos, if you look for the gig day video, you can see how I use that and how I stack it. I like to bring a little bit more equipment than what I really need. I like to have backups of everything. But I also use a TV tray. I have a battery operated fan. As a matter of fact, I'm using it right now. It's a Craftsman fan. It's very cool. I use that because some of these gigs that I play are outside and it gets warm. Even inside sometimes it's a little warm. So I like to do that. I like to have a fan. So I have a TV table, like a TV tray table for that stuff. Extra picks, batteries sitting there, my capo, a hand towel, bottle of water. It's just nice to have basically an end table. Some people have a tray that attaches to their microphone stand. That's cool too. If you like that, it's nice to have that stuff right in front of you in case you drop a pick or something goes on. It's just nice to have that stuff. So if you are looking for a list of things, I use a fold-up stool because I sit down when I play. A lot of people stand. That's great. Doesn't matter what you do. I don't think one is better than the other. Whatever you feel comfortable with, I think it's a personal choice. But I have a fold-up stool. I have a small piece of rug that I bring with me. Once in a while, I'll play in a room where it's tile, and the stool will slide a little bit if I don't have something underneath it. So I have a little piece of rug that I bought, and I bring that with me just in case, just for that purpose. Just talked about the TV tray or the mic stand tray. I think those are coming very handy. If you're using a tablet like an iPad, you're going to need your iPad, of course, or your tablet, and a holder for your mic stand. I do use that. I do not memorize everything. Plus, I'm running different programs on my iPad. I can adjust my mix from my iPad, so it's just on. I use it, and I don't have the memory some of you have, so I have to glance at lyrics once in a while. So, like I said, either a wireless system or bring your XLR cables, your quarter-inch jacks. Batteries, I highly recommend bringing a couple extra batteries with you. You just never know. You could be in the middle of a song and it goes dead. Just real quick to put another one in there and you're back in action. Microphone stand, of course, unless you're going wireless. There again, wireless is a very cool thing to do. Plus you can walk around and talk to people, play in front of them. That's just not my style, but I think it works for a lot of people. Going to need a guitar stand or a piano stand, depending on which instrument you're playing. Speaker stand, speaker and a speaker stand, battery operated, preferably. I do bring an extension cord and a power strip just in case there again, I'm one of those people that likes to be a little bit prepared. I'll bring a little bit more than I need just to make myself feel better that I've got some backups. Extra cords, extra batteries, extra picks. You could make a checklist. You could make a checklist if you are into that. I don't. I've got it set up to where I do so many of these. It's just burned into my brain of what I need and how I load it, how I pack it. But if you need a checklist, it's always a great idea to go through a checklist before you leave. I think it's better to have a little bit more than you need, but don't go crazy. You're not Motley Crue. You don't need dry ice. You don't need explosions going off. These are retirement home gigs. You just need the basics. You're going to go in there. You're going to play music that they're familiar with, and make it easy on yourself. They're easy gigs to begin with. Don't bring in Marshall half stacks and just giant speakers. You just don't need that stuff. This isn't that kind of a gig. You can now, with technology the way it is, you can buy a little tiny amp that's got all kinds of power, and you don't want to be too loud anyway, but there are rooms that you need to fill. Some of the rooms I play can hold 100 people, so you need the volume, but you also need a speaker that can sound good at a low volume too. So that's basically the list. You can write all that down. I don't have one that I could send you. What I do have is a free PDF. It's a blueprint on how to get retirement gigs, how to fill your calendar up with it, what you need to do, the steps to take. If you're interested in that, in the description, find my email address and shoot me an email and put free PDF in the subject line, and I'll fire that off to you, and that can get you started for those of you thinking about getting into doing retirement home gigs. I hope you do. It's an undertapped market. There's a lot of opportunity there for people, and they're great gigs to play, so I hope you do it. For those of you that are already playing them, if you want more of them, or if you've got stuck or something, let me know. I can help you out that way. I make my living playing these kinds of gigs and coaching musicians that want to fill up their calendar and make a part-time or full-time living doing this. So let me know if I can help you out that way. All right, well, until the next video, happy gigging.